Hello, welcome to this short tutorial for my library, Bazaar Library. It's obviously for a Bazaar day. You can make your own script for it. It's very easy. Well, not a script, but like a stand modifying thingy do. It's very easy to do this. It requires little to no scripting knowledge. Just know how to input values, and if you have issues, it's fine. Just message me on Discord. But it's alright. It's real easy to do this. You just gotta do this. So I have like a little boilerplate code for you. You can obviously get this. Obviously be linked, but it's very easy, and there's a bit of settings at the top that I'll be like showing you. So we have a damage multiplier. These are my features. We have a Bazaar Day copies. Like if you have like I don't know, a Bazaar World. No, well, someone's not to copy. Just any game that's like copied the base code of Bazaar Day. This will work on it as well. Log environment. It logs your script environment, which is basically all the functions. We'll be using this. Write file stand. Oh, sorry, right stand file. What this does is just like it saves it into your Synapse workspace or any exploit workspace, but I recommend using Synapse. Then we have walk in TS, self-explanatory, damage multiplier, remove jump cooldown, remove hit cooldown, set players visible, which is I don't think it works. I'll fix that like not right now, but obviously, but it's currently not working, but it just like lets you it shows people in like time stop, no time erase, stuff like that. It just always sets them to visible. And then hook, which hooks the wait function, which isn't super useful for like any other people, but what this does right here is just it removes jump cooldown, which you can remove if you can just do, you can remove this whole thing, can you? Just a short patch. Okay. Yeah. Let me just do that. That'll be the little patch thing. So if you don't have it, you can just remove it if you don't want to remove the jump cooldown. But I have two of these, just in case. If this ever gets patched, then this won't get patched. This won't ever get patched, actually. But I mean, it will if they just change it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Basically, this is the library, and we have this here. So load stands variants, which basically lets, this is all the modded ones. I currently have 3, but I don't even think Soldier is done, but basically we can make a new one by just calling it your stand name, which will be modifying standless. And there's a few things we'll need to do. We'd have moves, and sorry, you can just basically copy and paste these. But I haven't used this in a while, sorry. But this is the boilerplate. This is your miscellaneous stuff, like your global variables, global functions, global tables. This is just like you can edit the global environment of your stand, and we're gonna have moves. So, first of all, let's write the stand file and log our environment. So I have Synapse open. Let me just copy and paste. And let's go ahead and do if. So actually, I haven't got something set up yet to destroy the old one. Do I? Let me actually check. So I might need to actually do that now. Yeah, I'll need to do that now. So this will only take a second. And we can just do as our object. Okay. Ignore this. Okay, now I can start this. We could run this script. And it'll kill you. And there you go. It'll only kill you once, because it won't take in effects for other things if you don't. But as you can see, we have a stand now. And it gives us the script. So you don't, I did say you don't need to know anything, and you don't, but Lua is very, I mean, apart from the decompilation, piling, and it's it's just like not proper values. Sadly, it's not extremely readable, but it's okay. I mean, Lua is very easy to understand, but it might make it harder. So basically, you're looking for these. U2 equals true, then return end. It does not have to be U2, obviously, but we do want to look out for that, and we also want to look out for the second one. So these two things are called variables, if you obviously. But what we're going to be referring to, what I'm going to be referring to is up values, and that's just basically anything that's written or read to, any variables outside of the function being written or read to from inside the function. And you can access these and change these. So push obviously has them too. And U2 is used on every single one of these because that is the global cooldown, I could say, you could call it. It's just basically 2 moves cannot be run at once. So this strong punch is going to say, currently doing my action. No one else can do this. And this is just the cooldown saying, I've used this. Wait 5 seconds before I can use it again. So that's basically what it is. But they're normally the first 2 variables ever used in most moves, but you just want to make sure. And this is a global variable, and it's not actually using U15, or U18. No, U2. It's not using U2. Oh, it is. Sorry, but it's not using an up value, like a really strange one. It's using a global variable, and we can access like the names of the global variables, thankfully. Dodge cooldown. So we could actually, because we know that's a global variable, we can edit that. Let me just go ahead and add new false. And I'm actually not going to log the environment. I'm going to do straight from the script. We have global variable, and what was it called? Dodge cooldown. We can do that and set it to false. And this will set it to this. These will like apply every frame, by the way. So you can't, if you want some like outside increments or something, you're gonna have to do that. We don't actually have support for that. I might add that actually, but for now, it's gonna be setting the same variable every frame. So, what move are we? So we're gonna add the punch. Actually, I think we actually have a function called make move. F. Oh, I love these variable names. Okay, function should log debug. Okay, so this is your so F, which is our function, so it's punch. Make sure you write that exactly how it is spelt over here, punch. Then we have L, which is, I love this, should log, we're going to have this false, which basically means if it should log any up values or anything, but we already know it's the first two. Oh, actually, there's only one. So we know one. Up values is this, and we actually want no constants, no protos, and no stack editing. So this is our up values, so we're going to be doing, let me just check, make sure I'm doing this correctly. Yeah, okay, cool. Make debug 1, 2, 1 false. Alright, cool. So we're going to do cooldown equals, no, it's activoo equals make debug key, which is 1 and false. Target, this is your target, which basically is what we're setting it to every frame. 1 is the key, which is basically there's keys and values in Lua. You don't need to really know what this means, but basically it's the order of what it's called. So U2 is first, so it's 1. In this one, U2 is first, so it's 1, but U15 is second, so it's going to be second, and next is probably swing. Yeah, it's swing, so it's going to be the third one, fourth, fifth, sixth, and these cannot be duplicates. So if U2, since U2's referenced up here, but it's also referenced here, so why isn't this 3? No duplicates. These are skipped over. This is 3. There you go. And then so like this one, let's say this is the 7th one. I don't know. I'm not counting. And then this one was also expressed previously. This was also. So it'd stop here. It'd stop right here. Because well, there's no other up values. No new up values. Oh wait, no, it's up here. There's no up values. So that's just a little knowledge about up values. So now we have our punch. Let's hope this works. And by the way, if you are debugging, so if you do have should log to true, then it'll. Oh wait, no. If you do have it's to either constant, it could be up values, constants, protos, or stack. If you have it to any of these, it'll log every single up value or every single constant, protos, or stack of the function, and it'll halt whatever is inside of this. It'll halt any of these because we don't want to. If you're debugging, you don't want to have it to run the code. As you can see, it did do the log environment, which basically splits every global variable. But we don't really care about that because it's really easier just to read the scripts. So now we can copy in this and paste it here, and as you can see, we can now you know, activoo is always nil, so we can use multiple moves at once. And our dodge cooldown is off, and we already got a pretty good script. Normally this will take like 2 minutes to make. And since every move is very similar in that fact, we can make a strong punch one. Equals make move. But you always want to make sure, just in case, it's always the first one. And then we have cooldown, which is our move cooldown. 2 and false. And that's our thing. And we know this is the second one because in strong punch, U15 equals true. There you go. So as you can see, I'm not currently spam it. Do that, and I can spam it. And this is very good. And since this is not the only thing you can do with this, you can have a damage multiplier, walk in TS, remove your jump cooldown, which is obviously true, and a remove hit cooldown, which basically, so when you're hitting people, oh, okay, so it's adding me. When you're hitting people, there's I can actually show you this in the script. there's a function called hit O. If I can find it, it's not at the bottom actually. Oh, did they change it? Did they change how this works? Okay. Sure. They changed how it works, but in most stands, they have a thing called hit O, and it basically it goes through everything in the workspace, everything that you can see, and it checks if you're like actually hitting it, and it checks it for this every so often, like every 0.1 seconds, 25 times roughly. It's different for every move, and it checks if you're actually hitting it, and then it registers a hit. But when it registers a hit, it adds a cooldown to your like hits before you can hit again. Obviously, if it's checking 25 times at 0.1 seconds, it's gonna be checking in over 2.5 seconds. Can't be hitting every time in the 2.5 seconds, so they add a cooldown. This removes that. Well, it doesn't remove it. It's kind of a shady. We could probably make a better way, but it basically just makes it so it deletes it immediately. So there is going to be a small window where it doesn't hit, but it, for the most part, removes it, and it'll spam hits as much as it can. So even if I remove, it won't work for it won't work for every move. As I just showed, it doesn't it won't work for standless because it doesn't have the hit-o function. But for local like cooldowns in the hits, and for like most stands, it'll remove the hit cooldown. Not for every stand, obviously though. But there's that. That's the awesome library. I could probably get a stand really quickly if I can, and I could probably showcase it a bit better with the hit cooldown and the damage multiplier specifically. But I can't seem to find an arrow. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. No, it's fine, it's whatever, it's whatever, it's whatever. But that was it. If I can just go, I'm gonna go beat this guy up. Beat this bitch up. Come here, con, come here.